Oh, you're already recording? That's fine. According to a recent study by the USDA titled Food Costs and Spending, the average college student has been shown to spend about 27% of their income on dining out and delivery. Now, this is money that can be better spent for other things, which is why today I'm going to be approaching the subject of food insecurity, how it affects the average college student, and some ways to combat that. One of the examples I will be using is something as simple as ordering chicken wings and how I can expose the hidden cost of ordering out. In a recent report requested by Congress, 32 studies were compiled into one report, which showed a severe deficit in the knowledge of college students when it comes to food insecurity. This is a problem that affects about 46% of us. One of the causes I like to point out as an example is the generational idea of the broke or hungry college student. You also often hear of your grandparents, your parents, or others that came before you talking about living off of ramen or other terrible, terrible ideas when it comes to food and nutrition. Now, the USDA time and time again has shown that proper nutrition is key to healthy living, and that lack of proper nutrition can lead to severe problems when it comes to memory, retention, and overall brain health, which can negatively affect things like your GPA at school. Now, while trying to come up with an example, I was at this grocery store and I got a craving for some chicken wings, and I thought, well, that's a perfect way to expose the system. So I went down to the meat department. I got a party pack of wings that cost me $14.83 with tax, and I devised a little trial. I went home, I ordered some Buffalo Wild Wings. The order that I did cost me $12.34. It would have cost $18.46 had I had it delivered a third of a mile away. Instead, I opted to save that money by sending my wife. Now, while she was gone, I went ahead and cut up the chicken into buffalo pieces, if you will. I ended up getting 24 pieces out of that. I cut it up, made my sauce, cooked the chicken wings, and had them sauced up, ready to go by the time my wife got back. In fact, I had about 5-10 minutes to spare. The results are actually quite shocking. Just to show you what I got from the grocery store is a set of wings that not only have I made with my own personal sauce, but it took me about 20 minutes. And here is what I got from Buffalo Wild Wings. And just to know that this costs more than this, I think the results pretty much show you where this goes. So what are some of the other benefits to cooking at home besides the cost reduction? Well, you have greater control over your nutrient intake, which again is very important for your health. You can also address things like ethical concerns when it comes to animals. Your high quality, organic, free range, super awesomeness from Whole Foods still costs about $5.99 a pound. That gives you 10 pieces of wings. Well, I was going to pay $18 for 6. That still saves you about 60% off. And you've got something that is ethically conscious. Not only that, but you can control your pots.
Go.
So what are some of the other benefits for cooking at home, besides the massive savings in cost? Well, greater control over your nutrient intake and greater control over your ethical choices. If you support things like free range and ethically treated animals, then even something like organic, free range, super great chicken at Whole Foods is still $5.99 a pound for those chicken wings, and that gives you about 10 wings on average. So for $5.99, you still get 10 wings still saves you about 60% off of the Buffalo Wild Wings. And a note on that, trying to source the chicken for Buffalo Wild Wings, I remained quite fruitless in my endeavors, even through my channels as a food scientist. That being said, with no idea of where the meat comes from, your quality immediately is diminished. Pause. So this not only improves your quality of food by cooking at home, but it also increases your awareness and your ethical standards. This does not just finding a source of Buffalo's chicken proved fruitless. This advantage of choosing your meat not only improves the quality of your food, but will also increase your awareness and your ethical standings. This does not just apply for meats, but for other groceries as well. We pay for convenience. This desire to have more time or perceived convenience often leads to an ever-falling quality of life. The massive savings from shopping and home cooking could counter that very easily, and should with a little more awareness. Pause.
Go.
The desire for more time or perceived convenience often leads to an ever-falling quality of life. The massive savings from shopping and home cooking can counter that with good nutrients and better control over your salts, your fats, and your carbohydrates. Standard industrial practices include altering fats and carbohydrates, often with deleterious effects on your long-term health. One of the most recent examples of this is the trend with trans fats, where we saw over a long term they were terrible for you. Now, not everyone has access to high-quality foods, and this is where your social programs like food stamps or community outreach programs such as the LSU Food Pantry come into play. My family, the last time we went to the LSU Food Pantry, got over 35 pounds of fresh fruit, vegetables, and milk for free, and they allow you to pick up to 3 times a week. There's no excuse not to eat better. With rising costs both at the grocery store and at restaurants, it's quickly becoming a viable option to cook at home, not only to improve your health, but your wallet as well. So take back your independence from bad food. Expensive eats, terrible dining. Okay. So take back your independence from bad food